Come on now. You already know what it is. I'm your host. Oh, wait. Before we even do that, God did this. Don't get mad with us. Man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the legacy maker himself, Mr. Exclusive. Look, we had another crazy week of
We in
wrestling.
there.
And we got to talk about it because, Raw's about to be coming up soon. We already got a whole nother crazy week with Elimination Chamber. So let's go ahead and get into the 3 hours of fire with Money.
Oh yeah, because it was fire.
You know, that happened this week. We can talk about a couple things happening on Raw. Uh, you know, but one of the main things I'm going to say is this: 3 hours of heat, 3 hours of fire, 3 hours of nonstop storytelling that just keeps getting better, baby. And honestly, what's kind of crazy, what really started off Monday Night Raw was Sammy trying to talk to Adam Pearce. Now, honestly, I'm not going to lie. My whole thing with this whole thing, and a lot of people have been saying the same thing. Why are we seeing Sammy versus Kevin Owens for the millionth time like we've been seeing it? I don't know. But will it be a great match? Of course. The fact that we went from Kevin Owens and Cody to Kevin Owens to Sammy somehow where Kevin Owens is doing this thing with the bloodline and so is Sammy. And now things have intertwined. It's just kind of crazy. Now this is about to be an unsanctioned match for Elimination Chamber. Flash forward. Then we go to Dakota Kai. Now, it's funny how we talked about this last week. We had talked about it, and I said myself, why is Lyra Valkyria even the Intercontinental Champion? Well, now she's about to face Dakota Kai for that title. Now, hopefully, Triple H, I think he's heard enough. I think he's about to right the wrongs and see what he does with this. But then next thing we know, we seen AJ Styles get 1,000 Aura Plus, catching it up with Braun Breaker. First of all, Braun Breaker hit a whole spear. I mean, actually, on Dominic Mysterio. Sat there and hit Dominic Mysterio with a spear. Miss AJ Styles. AJ Styles was sitting there talking his stuff, saying what he had to say. But at the same time, Braun Breaker was sitting there getting crazy. Hit his spear, takes off his shirt, throws his shirt. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was the same way how Gunther did, throwing his jacket at a kid. But honestly, AJ Styles catching this shirt just had 1,000,000 aura just gained to this man, and it's insane. And then we flash forward to the Yeet, to Jey Uso and Gunther going at it. Now, honestly, I think this build-up is really kind of building up to something that's going to be very, very great. And I think this pop is going to be insane when this man wins this title. And that's the finish. Honestly, think about it. We even finished off the with Monday Night Raw with Seth Rollins beating Finn Balor. Honestly, that's something big to talk about? Not really. Finn Balor looking like a scrub. I'm sick of Finn Balor looking like he's a jobber. Okay? Y'all are playing my man Finn. I know a lot of people feel the same way. This is insane. Y'all sitting to do my man Finn dirty. I have no idea why. But there's a couple of them that's just getting this bad rep. You know what I'm saying? We got Finn Balor taking that, getting just squashed up. You got Pete Dunne, the whole Butch situation. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these guys that we've seen be NXT champions, NXT greats, have now been getting played like they're nothing, like they're jobbers. And y'all better stop doing this to them, because this ain't looking good, especially for my man Finn. But Mr. Exclusive, what are your thoughts? What do you think was going on with Monday Night Raw, man? What you think?
Hey, look, I know we're getting ready for greatness in about an hour or so. So I know everybody be like, "What, Raw?" Yeah, look, we understand. We understand it. We know the assignment. I will say this, Raw continues to cook. And we come on here every week and we praise WWE. They have not given us a reason to unpraise them, like truly a true reason to be like, it wasn't like 4 or 5 years ago. We're not there. We're not there. I will say this. Sami Zayn's situation for me is is interesting yet smart at the same time. They had to find a way to bridge the gap for these two to face off in their home country on Saturday. So we know where that started. I don't think it goes any further than this. They
Mm-hmm.
may try to push it to Mania. I don't see it going any further than this because I really think we're gonna get a class A banger on Saturday from these two. If this was a WrestleMania match between those two, guess what? That it would probably steal the show. It would probably be the best match that we
Mm-hmm.
get on the show because that's one thing they're going to do. They are going to deliver. That's just what Sami Zayn does. That's what Kevin Owens does. Unfortunately, like I've said on other shows in the past, Sami is the lovable loser. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but he is the lovable loser. And I don't even know if him turning heel would change it. It's just that person, like, okay, if he won it, great. A world title one day, you'd be happy for him. You wouldn't want him to have a long reign. I don't know if he would work. Could he work it? Yes, he probably. I don't know. That's just what Sammy does. Dakota Kai on the other end, swinging in Dakota, seeing Dakota get his opportunity at this title is the best thing for business. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
why is the best thing for business, Mr. Knight, is that we know that if this happens and she takes that title, the matchup I want to see, and we talked about it weeks ago, is her and Shayna Baszler. It needs
Mm-hmm.
because it needs to elevate Shayna to where she should be. Like Shayna's a really good wrestler. Like it's insane.
Please.
It's insane that she's not where she's supposed to be, because they just never, when she moved up, they just never did her right. She got the Apollo Crews treatment. I can name countless other NXT people that went up there and they just blah, cross, you name it, just a whole bunch of them. She's one of them. But in that division, in a division where if she was a champion, like we said before, amazing work could happen. But even though I would rather see Baszler be the champion and then Dakota going after the belt for revenge purposes, I'd rather see that. But who knows? On the AJ Styles front, I think they're setting up something big, for Mania. And I'm not gonna say because like those Intercontinental U.S. title matches, they like to have a six-man ladder match. It's gonna be something that a lot of people can get in the mix of. Now, if they don't do that and they just make it AJ Styles and Braun Breaker, this is great for Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a point of his career that he doesn't need to put he doesn't need to put himself over. He's in a point of his career. He's a champion. He's already a Hall of Famer. He's a TNA Hall of Famer. He's going to be, WWE Hall of Famer. He's got all that locked in the bag. So that there's no problems there. The thing really is, is he at the point that he's company man where he's helping putting people over? And this would really help Braun Breaker, another notch in his belt as he continues to ascend, on the roster. He's a future headliner in the next couple of years. He's got crowd participation. It all works. So I like what they're doing with that. Smart to give him someone that could help him grow. And I think that's what a lot of wrestling missed in the last couple of years. And then last but not least, yeet. Last but not least, this matchup is growing on me. Yes, we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, and we also knew that it could be something special. But the way they have turned it around, there was a part of it was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good, man. Like, well, okay, it's just happened. He's already lost to him. But the way they've built it's got you pulled in, it's got you intrigued.
Yep.
He's the top guy in the company when it comes to merchandise for the most part. I mean, he's that guy, and it'll be interesting to see if he can make that run. I still don't think he'll have a long title reign if he wins. But if this happens, I really do think this is a really good match that we could see from these two. Like a really good match.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. I think honestly, even with going back to the Dakota Kai situation, I think honestly seeing her with that title, I think that's gonna do a lot. I think seeing the fact that they're gonna do a whole rematch, we're gonna really run this back. I'm really wondering, I question, please don't have Dakota Kai lose this again. If you're gonna
Right.
bring her back to the same situation, don't have her lose. Have her win this and make this title run mean something. Because honestly, we can tell, you can tell the fans were not feeling Lyra Valkyria winning that title. So I think honestly, with them maybe just righting that wrong and getting Dakota Kai that title, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for matches and even storylines to definitely be in the future.
Now, Kenny, I love you. And I know you're the only person. We be getting Kenny in the group chat. Love you love you like a play cuz. But it's just, hey man, I'm sorry. I think she's a good wrestler. It just ain't working. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, what we got? Oh yeah, well, we got to talk wrestling, man.
Yeah, that's my man D. That's my man D Bland. Snap, let's go. By the way, I need to bring you guys on the show to talk wrestling. We in there. We in there for
Hey,
you, D.
whatever, man. Just let us know. We're here.
Let us know,
We're
brother.
here.
Let us know. He says
Oh
Cody is
yeah.
turning heel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
happening.
We definitely see it going. But
Always.
we talked about Raw for a little bit, and we got to talk about the greatness of my man Shawn Michaels constantly cooking up with NXT, baby.
Sure. I think I'm cute.
You know, got to talk about some of the greatness that goes on with NXT. You know how it is when it goes with NXT. Because I'm going to say it every time. Somebody continuously can give Shawn Michaels the chef's hat because he's constantly cooking up.
Cook.
Man, look, I can't lie. This episode this week was crazy. Started off with Oba Femi,
Who?
who the ruler, who, and honestly, coming out there and who comes out? Moose from TNA Impact. If you don't know nothing about Moose, you need to find out.
Real
I'll tell you
fast.
something, man. Moose is one of the greats right there in TNA. Okay, comes out, challenges Oba Femi. And then all of a sudden, fast forward, if we can even go to Impact, even Oba Femi came back and even had his challenge with Man, let me tell you, this is just getting insane. But let's just flash forward. Because we're going to flash forward to Ricky Starks. Also, we know as Ricky Starks, but is all of a sudden known as Ricky Saints. But the funny thing is, I'm going to just talk about even Ricky Saints, even his whole situation right now. Because it comes out, they're not even saying his name. He doesn't even have music. He comes out to the NXT theme, shows his picture, not his name. Comes out there. Ethan Page, which is funny for him to even come around there because both of them have been in AEW together. He's saying you got to take my time, you got to take my instructions in order to succeed in NXT the way I did coming up. Here you go. Ricky Stark says, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna do it my way. The spotlight ain't big enough for both of us, and by both of us, I mean just me." So now we flash forward. Ethan Page gets his whole thing because Javon Nemeth comes out, handles his business. Wesley, now I ain't gonna lie, Wesley ain't bad. He comes out, says this stuff. He said, "I'm gonna just show you what it is out here. I'm gonna show you what time it is when you come to NXT." Ricky sits there and hits him in the face. I ain't gonna lie, Wesley is getting slapped around constantly weekly, and this is insane.
He's getting beat up a lot.
He's just getting just molly wop, just all types of just hurt. So now Ricky Saints hits Wesley, knocks him out, and he poses and he points at his contract, which his name does say Ricky Saints. And that's the finish, man. And that was one of the biggest things that we've seen come out of Ricky Saints situation. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I seen this whole thing, Ricky Saints, I kind of almost like if I took from how he debuted to when he signed to the contract side and everything, I really think about, I really think this is like a rising WWE superstar on WWE 2K. Now it sounds crazy, but let's really think about this. When Ricky Saints really came in, he had no name. We couldn't say anything. We couldn't call him anything. We just knew who he was. And I said to myself, man, this kind of makes me think I'm just starting a new character on WWE 2K. We couldn't say his name. Yeah, we couldn't do anything. Couldn't say his name, even when he did the little promo. And he still couldn't even say his name. I was like, oh man, this is hilarious. This is crazy. Then after, when he finally reveals himself, he points at the contract which says his name signed. It's almost like if they just stopped and told us to put my name in there.
Yeah, like you had to
just,
check.
yes. I said, oh no, this is crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was an actual storyline on WWE 2K 25, 26, 27. I kid you not. That wouldn't surprise me because the way he came up, I say, man, this is interesting. But I like it. I like what they doing with him. I like how they making him look like the big star, the big signee, the big, like the next big thing to come to NXT. And honestly, I'm loving what they doing with Obafemi and with Moose, with this whole thing with the TNA. And also, of course, I can't lie. God love to see what they doing with Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan. That whole thing is turning up, even though we haven't really showed that. But even that situation with that rivalry, I know it's probably maybe we might see maybe a WrestleMania for, or should I say, Stand and Deliver type match. Mr. Exclusive, what are your thoughts?
There's a lot. There's a lot to impact on NXT because NXT and TNA are a couple right now. They're the most beautiful married couple in the world, and I can appreciate them dearly. So it's crazy because, well, I'll start with Ricky Saints. First of all, it should be just Ricky Saint. That's the first thing that I have to say about that. I don't know why they throw the S on there. I don't know if it's copyrighted. And I know why he did it. They say he's from New Orleans. He wanted to go, he wanted to do his hometown team. I'm cool with that. Drop the S. Ricky Saint sounds cool. Like Ricky Saints is like, all right, cool, I guess. But Ricky Saint is like, just dropping the S would do wonders. That's my opinion on that. Drop the S and watch what happens. So, but look, his whole situation, him coming out there, he's already got his swag level is on 1 trillion right off the bat. I like to have him and Ethan kind of go at it here because it's a familiarity of them two kind of knowing each other. They've been on the road. There's a storyline there, at some point it mattered. So I do like that kind of cooking. And like I told you a couple of weeks ago, I'm kind of on the Ethan train a little bit. Like it's chugging, but it's there. My boy got mad at me. Boy got mad at me the other week. He was like, "Who you picking in the Ethan in the bouncy match?" Homeboy, Mr. Evans. And I said, "I got Ethan." He said, "What?" He said, "You crazy, man? Come on, man." I said, "Look, Ethan, that dude. That's my guy." I never thought I'd say those words. I said, ego. Hey, look, that's my. I said, I'm going with him. He said, "Oh, you a hater?" No, I'm not a hater, man. I like Ethan. So, and Ethan won. So, I mean, just saying. Anyway, and then Wesley. God, Wesley. I want to give him a shout out because he has been killing lately.
He's
Promos have changed. It's such a dramatic change in his promo style. Like what we've seen, people say the same thing about Ricochet over and on AEW. And so I tell you, that was weird. It was weird. I thought it was funny, but still, it's like they both kind of got better, but Wesley got better. His whole persona that he's got now is working. He done got smacked twice, and they've been brutal. Just two brutal slaps.
That trick slap was crazy. That trick slap was
trick slap my man inside the locker. He just threw him wham. So they've been treating him like a stepchild, but I do like his character. The way they've kind of been able to kind of switch it around and make it work out. It's been working out fine. So I can appreciate. Now, like you were saying on some of the other fronts, Kalani and Jada, that's going to be a really good match when it officially happened. It's just them two. Now we all saw the slip. Lord forgive me. That's all I got on that. We all saw the slip.
God.
I said, "My Lord," and I had to pray a couple times and apologize. I was like, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want." But look, it happened.
Oh my!
It happened. It was out there, and it happened, and it happened multiple times at that. I'm sorry, but no, I can't wait to see that on the non other front. I can't wait to see that matchup because I really have liked the direction that Kalani's went in. I mean, she has this. It's a different. It still has that. She still has this nice girl look, but I think if she turns heel, there's a way I think they can turn her heel. I'm not 100% of how it's done. But I think there's a way to turn a heel that just makes her really take another step. But she's going in the right direction. I love that. Her and Miss Parker are just killing the game.
Yeah, something about what they're doing right now. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't call it. I don't know what it is. It's just happening. Then you've got
might be a future tag team.
Might be a future tag team. Then there's the guys. See. There's the guys that showed up at Vengeance Day. The 4 mystery dudes that we haven't seen. At least maybe I didn't fully all look, but that's another element that's just kind of out there lingering. You
mean Retribution 2.0?
Yeah, 2.0, yeah. The Fake Shield those are all the fun names we got. Fake Shield, Retribution 2.0. Whatever they got going on is going to be interesting because they did attack Oba. And does that cost Oba the championship? when he faced off against Moose here, a
And
roadblock.
Robert Stone in the back too. Robert
And,
Stone.
right. So it's a whole bunch of just things kind of lurking. I'll say these two things, and then of course, go back to you, my friend. I was very pumped to see Moose come out there. I thought, okay, Moose is here now. This is cool. We knew it was gonna happen at some point, and him being there just gave it a different element. I love the thing. I think the thing I love the most is the appreciation that he got. Because sometimes when you're in TNA, I think a lot of these wrestlers don't realize how important or how much the fans really care about him until they see him in a WWE front. Because yes, you're popular on TNA, and it's not. I don't want to knock TNA. I just need to throw that out there. But when you still translate and you go to WWE and you still get like Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry didn't know. Yeah, he knew he was gonna get some love, but you can see him get choked up when he walked out that first time on NXT because it surprised him. And I think Moose kind of got that same feel. He may not tear it up or nothing like that. Jordan Grace was getting that same feel when she came out there. So when these TNA stars come over, the stars that have been coming over, they get that love and you can see the difference. So when Oba flipped on over to TNA to help out the Hardys, who saw that coming? Like, I'm like, what?
Crazy.
Like, okay, so it's just a fun relationship. I love what WWE is doing with this. Them and TNA together has worked out perfectly. But the biggest thing is helping out TNA. A lot of people said in the beginning, man, this is not helping out TNA. How is it really helping out their brand? Did you see the energy? That last show they had was the most energy I see at TNA in a long time. You got Elias popping back out, which was, Elijah, I should say. That was cool. Him and Joe Hendry together. It was just, the Colognes coming back out there and doing their thing. It's been magic. And thank you, WWE, for the NXT TNA partnership. It has been absolutely amazing. Thank you.
It really has, man. It really has. Yeah, I think the only concern I think what people used to say was like, the fear that what people would say with WWE partnering with Impact was like, well, if anything, we know if they leave Impact, they're gonna immediately go to WWE. And I think we got to look at it like this. If you're going from one platform to another, I don't think that's a bad move. Especially if they're in a partnership, if they're both working toward it looks like they're doing something for the long run. I
Right.
don't think they're gonna be, having any bad splits of stealing people. It seems like WWE's trying to build. While I like to see them do that with AEW, yes. New
Yeah.
Japan, of course. We'd love to see them also do the same thing with all the other wrestling companies and really form an actual bond. Is it nice when when everybody's competing in this competition? Yes, single, of course. But we would love to see wrestling just come together and be a full empire of gold.
Yes.
Yes.
Greatness. Yeah.
And we don't need just one company. We'd love to see multiple companies doing that and thriving together. Because who would just want to go to one place to work? No, there should be multiple places to work, and everybody should love that.
Yeah.
That being said, if you got a problem with that, shut up. Because I'm tired of people always saying that they're sick of. I'm tired of people always saying, I can't stand AEW or I can't stand Impact or, WWE's on. You shouldn't only have one.
God.
There should always be multiple alternatives. And I tell that to everybody that is a wrestling fan. If you look at the other alternatives, you never know what you're going to like. Some people, there's some people, if you never really looked at it, you might like Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground's insane.
Hey, Lucha,
That's pretty. Gets crazy.
Hey, I didn't even know. Shame on me. I remember when I was like a couple years back when Lucha Underground was out, and I heard of it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. It wasn't until Lucha Underground stars moved to WWE and other places that I started seeing matches and clips of what they were doing in Lucha Underground. I was like, yo, this is fire. Like I missed out on this. Like that's how I felt. I'm like, I missed out on this. Like I wasn't paying attention to this. So I agree with you 100%. And even like the Chelsea Green Penta match was one match that I saw that kind of grabbed me, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, and those type of matches, and when Penta went up against Kyrie Singh and all that, I didn't know that was all going on, and then I saw it, and I was like, this is a heck of a match. I think even Jacob was on Lucha Underground, wasn't he? Yeah. So
so was Ricochet. He was
right.
Prince Puma, Ray Phoenix. I believe even Rey Mysterio was on Lucha Underground for a little minute, and even Eddie Guerrero's daughter, she was wrestling as well. So it's just a lot of greatness that I be trying to We gotta tell people, man. There's a lot of greatness in other companies. If you don't know, now you're gonna find out. That's the only
Yeah,
way you're gonna know.
exactly.
NWA, how do we know about Ricky Saints? Because of NWA wrestling. Because he popped up on there. Oh wow, who's Ricky Starks? Y'all need to get your histories up. You know, this is insane, man. Because I don't like how some of the fans will treat new signees, whether they're from the indies or whatever. Because it's like, you got some guys like the Motor City Machine Guns. Like these guys are great. It's a great tag team.
Great tag
Some
team.
people don't know them, so they're like, "Oh, well, I think they're trash." No, these are some of the greatest tag teams you could put up in the ring with. And you just don't, just because you've never seen them before in WWE and this is your first time, you think they're trash. No, they are excellent. You need to just look up the history, and that kills me. Y'all need to start doing your history. I don't
Agreed.
get it.
Agreed. And like I could be like, I'll be honest with you. The only thing I've ever been really closed minded about is probably New Japan. I think it's probably for me, it's always been the language barrier. But I will say the people that have come from over there are hella wrestlers. Like they do amazing work. And it's the craziest thing. Me personally, yeah, maybe not, but I'll never shy away from at least checking out or highlights or something from the other companies just to give them some type of love. I mean, AEW right now for me, probably not like I probably wouldn't jump about, let me go watch the AEW, like go watch an episode. I do check on those clips a lot, and so when I see my girl Tony Storm, I see my girl Tony Storm and Mariah May having probably the best storyline in women's wrestling, period, right now. What they're doing is, I know this is off topic, y'all, but look, what they're doing right now is a masterpiece. Chef's kiss is our guy.
The Heartbreak Prince.
The Heartbreak Prince would say that chef kiss all day. I'm telling you, it's A1 work right now. A1. Off our guy. Oh, we got to throw it in there. But it's just what they're doing right now is great work. And that's why I agree with you, brother. Like there's going to be bits and pieces that you may like in different companies. But you'll get on these fan groups and they'll be like, oh, like you AEW rag muffins and you WWE slug muffins. I'm like, what? First of all, where do you get these names from?
It's crazy.
And that's what you hear all the time. But it's okay to like everything and be just a wrestling fan and just enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, and just be open. Just be open. Just be open because you never know. There's so many different companies and you never know what you'll like.
Exactly.
Tell people that all the time, man. There's so many different. Like some people don't know there's women of wrestling. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
And you know who's on there? There's these two Samoan twins that are on there. And we know sooner or later they'll be popping up whenever.
And they will be tag champions. Look, and they will be tag champions. Because the bloodline.
It's a cheat code. I was watching was it Legends of Future Greats? And I said to myself, she's from Seattle, Washington. I'm not sure if she's in the actual bloodline, but she's like she looked like she was small, maybe Hawaiian. And as soon as I seen her, I said, "Oh yeah, she's not."
She's in.
Say anything.
if she not, she getting initiated. Bring me your palm. Slit. Blood brothers.
That's it, blood. And some people seen her and said, "Oh yeah, this is the female Jacob Fatu right here." I said, "Look, we can see another woman with the magic boot." Okay,
you're gonna have to send me that link. I need to check her out.
Man, I'm telling you. Look,
I'm gonna check her out.
I'm telling, but honestly, it seems like if you're Samoan and you're a wrestler, you got the cheat code. It's
almost
automatic
unfair.
cheat code.
It's almost unfair.
I had said I was talking to Cameron, my wife. I was telling her, I said, I can honestly see, and this might sound crazy, but I can honestly see 20 years from now, like, seeing like The Rock as the board member. I can see this man almost probably buying WWE and owning it. And I feel that would be like such a crazy full circle moment if that happened. Because his grandparents had owned their own wrestling company. They worked for WWE. Now it's like you did so much in WWE. Everybody in your family's become top stars. Now you're not even the tribal chief. You're the high chief. The high chief. You're the final boss, the board member. I wouldn't be surprised if this man becomes the owner of WWE and has a full circle moment. And honestly, it looks like it. Because you look at Ava, everybody, like, come on.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And I think another part of that is, two things. One, Can we stop Ava hate? Y'all people drive me nuts.
Yeah, stop doing this to the Pebble.
She got the job. Okay. Every half of the roster are former somebody's children. It's every job does
Linears.
it.
Yeah.
Every job does it. And look,
Generations.
is she great at it? No. Is she terrible at it? No. Like,
No.
I think she's right down the middle. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing horrible. But people just want to trash her. Y'all leave the Pebble alone. Secondly, Eric, did you ever think that we would ever see the day? And I know people bring it up all the time. The Rock is the man that's in charge of WWE. Triple H is the man that's running the show. Shawn Michaels. We talking about our generation.
This is
of
crazy.
Wrestlers running the ship. Like the entire ship, they run.
Undertaker doing stuff with even with the talent as well.
Yeah, I would have never.
It's crazy.
Would have never thought I'd seen the day that we had all this happen. But we could thank Vince McMahon for that.
We can.
We can thank you, Vince McMahon. So thank you, Vince McMahon, for everything. Because I mean, seriously, like from beginning to now, if it wasn't for you, for all of your actions between now and then, whatever they are, good or bad,
we wouldn't be getting this right now.
We wouldn't be having it because of you. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
it. Since we're talking about the final boss, we gotta talk about the greatest part of last week. Friday Night Smackdown, baby. So gotta talk about SmackDown with some of the greatest things that happened with there. Talking about a couple things. We could talk about, one of my favorites, the werewolf, the man with the magic boot. He didn't do too much that was too crazy this week, although he had a few moments. But one main thing, one big thing, one final thing that was the biggest thing we got to talk about was The Rock, the final boss, Dwayne Johnson. First of all, this man came out to the Hot Boys. Okay, yeah, we know it's New Orleans. And look, we've been in New Orleans. It's close, like we came to New Orleans. We went there, WrestleMania 34. We was there. We seen it. So maybe, who knows? We might be back there again for 42. Might be worth it this time, because the last time
might be. But he might actually be there this time.
He might be there for this one. So The Rock comes down to the Hot Boys. Then he announces that WrestleMania is gonna be in New Orleans, April 11th and the 12th of 2026. Now, he calls Cody Rhodes out, tells Cody to come on out, invites him out. I said, what? First of all, I said, what is The Rock doing? Let's just get this out the way. The Rock rambles for 10 to 15 minutes, and we know how The Rock does. The final boss does what he wants to do. And I will keep saying this because he's going to do what he want to do. But sometimes, Rock, you got to stay in character. You are killing me when you hit me with this half-heel, half-face, oh, let me break kayfabe 10 minutes after. You got to stop doing this. Because the final boss has got to stay as the final boss. So now Cody comes out, right? The Rock comes out. He tells Cody, look, we're close. I'm close with Nick Khan. I'm close with Paul Levesque. I'm close with everybody because I'm the board member. I'm the final boss. And, our family's close. He even shows a picture of Mama Rose and Mama Rock. I said, oh, you are wilding, sir. This is insane. Now, I don't know if this is, again, The Rock breaking kayfabe or bringing the storyline even more, closer together. Because, again, sometimes it's a little all over the place, but it somehow still makes sense. And then he even tells Cody, I want something. Cody says, what do you want? What do you want, my title? What do you want? He said, no, I want you to be my champion. And by that, I want you to be my champion. Not only, I don't want your title, but what I want is your soul. Your soul. And man, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. To say that you want a man's soul, pause. I said, hey, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
He said it with too much confidence, Eric. I
He
want
said
you
it was so
so.
much confidence. I thought somebody said "Ayo" in the crowd, but honestly, one thing about this thing with The Rock, man, I love to see him. First of all, regardless, I thought when it came to the final boss, I always said I felt like he should have been around after Mania, causing hell to Cody for all the months, and I felt like it would have made Cody's run, a little bit more exciting. But now that we've seen it was a little stale, and then Kevin Owens had a situation that turned it up. Now all of a sudden The Rock pops up at this point in time before Mania. Now it gets a little bit more interesting because we thought maybe The Rock wasn't going to be there for 41, but now all of a sudden it looks like maybe he is. Although this is the thing that kind of kills me because The Rock then gets on a press conference and says, "Yeah, me and Cody were drinking some tequilas. We were talking about doing this." Why are you saying this right after we
Yeah.
just had this? This is what The Rock's got to stop doing. Not everything you do with these interviews is a documentary for WrestleMania 40. We got to stop that,
He
Rock.
be
You
setting it
can't
up
keep
smooth.
doing that. Because what kills me, and I was like, man, I wish he wouldn't do that because you did what you did. You talked about you wanted this and all that. I would have rathered him talked about more of what he want to do WrestleMania. Okay, cool. Now, if you want to talk about what the deal means for Cody, breaking that down a little bit more in the press conference, I think that would have been better. Don't sit there and try to celebrate, talk about you. That looks crazy. Again, the final boss is the final boss. He's gonna do what he want to do. And I like what he's doing. In some ways, it's like it's still, and that's the thing that's kind of weird. It's still working. Like
It is. It's The Rock.
it's off-putting, but it still works. And it's like, okay, I'm okay with it working, but I need The Rock to stop with the he's doing too much kayfabing. And it's like, again, we know kayfabe has been broken. Honestly, when the Undertaker breaks it, at that point, it's done. It's been a
Over.
done
All
deal.
right, it's a wrap.
Been a done deal.
It's a wrap. They try their best sometimes to keep it alive, but no, it's done.
There's got to be a level I feel like Rock's got to know. All right, look, this is what the audience is looking for. What, like, I just don't feel like that was just the right time to be sitting there talking about it. I would have rathered him just stay in that final boss character, go heel. And that's the thing. It's like he gets face, he celebrates the crowd. He tells the kid he'll suck the syphilis off of them. And then he just goes back to telling Cody he wants his soul. He wants his soul. Pause.
Man,
So, I'm not mad about this. But again, I gotta be patient. Because when it comes to these things, especially with everything, it's just a big patience thing. But then I wonder, which I don't think they're really gonna talk about it, but even that whole thing that The Rock gave Cody even after Mania, like they're still not talking about that. You're not talking about what you gave him, but maybe we'll talk about that. And they'll ask him, "Do you still have that?" Maybe that's something that signifies him selling your soul. What if Cody gives him that same piece and says, "This is my soul that you gave to me, and I am giving it to you," and then we'll see corporate Cody as heel Cody, American Nightmare Cody, the real Cody that's heel.
Gonna go crazy. Corporate Cody go crazy.
He's gonna go insane.
He's gonna be out of control.
They're gonna call him Homelander. They're gonna call him everything. I'm telling you, it's looking like it might be something. Now look, if they do something with that, bringing that back together, I'm all for it. Because honestly, you need to bring something because they haven't talked anything about that. So they need to bring something with that, and maybe that does signify saying, "Look, I am giving you part of my legacy to sell for you to own as the high chief." I don't know, just something, and I think it'll work. We'll see.
We'll see.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Xclusive? What you think?
We'll see. First, before my man D said that, my man D was like, The Rock got diarrhea of the mouth. True, love my guy, but it's been a little bit wild lately. And then he said he was at WrestleMania 34. So were we. We were at WrestleMania 34. So
that's crazy.
We were in the crowd with you, brother. We was in the crowd with you. So here's the thing. So yes, and we and you talked about this pre-show. The Rock can do whatever he wants. It really doesn't matter. No pun. Not trying to be funny. Not trying to throw catchphrases in there. Look, people are going to be invested. The Rock is an ultra superstar. he transcends from WWE onto Hollywood. Little kids love him. No Diddy, none of that stuff. But we talk about the same guy that made Moana, and the same guy that has produced so much greatness in so many different forms. He's got his own tequila. He does everything.
He does everything.
He does everything. And
he
so
does everything.
He does everything. And I think the key is, yes, he's been very bipolar lately. But even with him being bipolar, you're going to stay interested because he's the Rock. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, you're going to stay interested because you're the Rock. You can be as mad at him as you want. You can say it don't make sense. I don't think what he said makes sense. It's not going to make a difference. He's the Rock. He would have to do some off-the-wall stuff in order for people to stop caring. But what I love about this situation is I really think that this is going to, how I am about long-term storytelling.
Storytelling.
Talk about it all the time. This is where I think this leads. Yes, they planted this seed low key last year after WrestleMania, and it was smart because they didn't really say anything, and then they left you waiting, trying to figure out, man, what the heck is this thing? It's just I love how they just drop little nuggets, let them sit.
Come on now,
they just let them sit, and you be like, man, what is that all about? Just like the whole CM Punk, hey Paul Heyman, I need a favor, like that. Now, what are we doing? We're speculating that those two things can have some type of connection at some point, depending on how I go. It's beautifully done. It's greatly done. But what I think happens is I think that at some point, this is going to help Roman Reigns be the biggest face in a long time.
Yeah.
When Roman Reigns was, first out of the Shield, everybody wanted Roman. Well, not everybody. Vince wanted Roman Reigns to be the face of the company. Now that has happened. With Cody right there, right beside him. That has happened. Like we talk about it, every wedding one's up. It's there. It's there on a heel level and as a tweener. But he has a chance to be the biggest face in history if this is done right. Because now we all know that Cody works way better as a heel. He is a fan. We talk about Randy Orton's protege here. Like he works well as a heel. He can do both, just like Randy. It works on either front. When he crushes these kids' hearts, people are going to cry. He is going to crush people's hearts, but guess what it's going to do? Continue to bring people in. But what it's also going to do is going to be The Rock saying he had to put his team together to stop Roman. Because in the end, that's what's going to be the final is him facing Roman. They've talked about it for years. This is something they want to happen. I think that whenever it does end, and they finally push it away, it'll be because it'll be Rock versus Roman for whatever reason and for whatever purpose. And Cody could be a big part of that plan to help push that forward. Now, what other people he bring along the way, because I feel like you can't have just Cody by himself. He's going to have people that work for him, the Ricky Saints of the world down the road. This is down the road now. We're talking about the guys that know him. We're talking about, the Ethan Pages of the world that know Cody, people that have worked with Cody that he could bring in and trust, maybe even AJ Styles down the road if AJ Styles still in the mix, because guess what? They were friends, they were all a part. They were all a part of the Bullet Club. When it does kind of like materialize, greatness is going to come from it. I know, but my theory could be out there. Heck, everybody's theory is out there. Nobody truly knows what it's going to be, but that is what makes wrestling amazing, right? And just in general, the days when we grew up, when we didn't know what was going to happen from week to week, and there was nobody out here telling stories and giving out hints,
leaking stuff. Yeah,
those days are coming back, but it's in a different form. Where I think The Rock is just throwing stuff out there, or they just throw stuff out there because they know if they give all the info away, people are easily like, oh, that person, they're going to win the Rumble, or this person going to do that. That's why Jay winning the Rumble was like, oh, shoot. Nobody really expected Jay to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was going to be Cena, Punk, maybe Roman, those three, maybe even Drew. But nobody really truly thought that Jay was going to win that Rumble. But that's what this whole era has done. Throw a little nugget there, put something here, and it allows us to change our mind if we need to. That's like, so him just saying, take this. That could be anything. They got plenty of time to figure out what take this means. And we're slowly finding it, yeah, no Diddy all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, and that's what makes wrestling so good, y'all.
Yeah, man.
I love it because you just never know. You just never know. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we talk about aura, we talk about storyline, we talk about how good is this getting, and it's one of those things to where I really think that it's one of these storylines that I think is going on for a couple of years, almost to the point where it's like you see the character change in both to where Roman's the heel. Now Cody's Cody, we're probably gonna see Cody turn heel. And now we see Rock still in the forefront of intertwining that with both of them.
Puppet
So I
master.
mean just the final boss doing whatever he wants to do.
Puppet master, baby.
I mean, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I ain't talking McDonald's, but I'm really liking everything that they're doing with this. I think this storyline is really just I think it's one of those things where it's like you didn't know where it was going. It kind of dwindled for a while. You kept, those things you always question, you talk about it, but you don't know when it's coming. And then when it happens, it's like, okay, all right, cool. The first time, but that's what makes it a little weird because then I always think about what was it? Not some maybe SummerSlam. Then the SummerSlam when Roman comes back. Roman comes back. I mean, we even talked about it on our show. Roman comes back, and then The Rock comes out at the end. Hits him with the 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're done. So what does that mean? You included Cody with that, but now you're asking him you want him to be your champion. You want his soul.
But that's the part that makes it intriguing. So you see, that's another one of those, here's a small thing, and now I'm going to let your mind run with it. Now think about that. The 3 people that were in the ring, that could be for any of them. That could have been a symbol to Cody to say, hey, that's it. We got business to take care of. Like Cody probably already knows what this means. If you know what I'm saying, like there's so many elements. Or that could be the same thing to Roman, where it's like, we got to cut that. Like there's a thing. He could have meant, I'm going to get all of y'all, or it could have been a symbol to somebody else. That's what makes it great because you really don't know. And I'm like, all right, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it all.
Take my money. Just tell me what it is and we'll figure it out,
Because y'all got it.
Yeah, y'all got it.
Y'all got
it out.
One, I got it because we didn't have it, but one I got it. Again. Wouldn't be us if we weren't talking about him. Woo! Yeah, I love that. Yeah, baby. The Street Profits came back again and are answering the call. Okay, look, tell you something. Street Profits, Montez, came, interrupted the whole tag team match, and put the whole tag team division on notice. By the way, to the point where they was waiting for whoever was coming out next and just dropped them like some flies. I love to see it. I love to see it. And again, this looks like it's still pushing towards what I was saying before. The Profits winning the titles at Mania. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, man. They're going to get their time. I think it almost kind of seems like everybody's got their little title run in. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got theirs in. We've seen DIY get their 2s. They got 2 title runs in.
2 title runs.
We've seen the Bloodline have their title run with it. Okay, we've seen Austin Theory and Grayson Waller have their title run with it, and they're not even doing anything with it anymore.
Trash, boy.
At this point now, we're only seeing Pretty Deadly, Garza, and Humberto. We're seeing DIY, and we're seeing Motor City Machine Guns. And honestly, they're all getting dropped. Motor City Machine Guns had their title runs. So now, after all this time, it's time for the Street Profits to get theirs. And I'm telling you right now, hear me when I say this. Profits are winning these titles at Mania, man. I got that feeling. Pause. I'm not going to say the rest because I'm telling you now, when it comes to just how they're looking, when it comes to just their repackaging, because the first thing I kept saying for these last few weeks is, where the hell are the Street Profits? Where are they at? You got all these tag teams. They've been having these title opportunities taken from them, slipped under the rug. And now it looks like their time is coming. And look, Elimination Chambers this week, so I don't expect them to have a title shot. at elimination. That's too fast. You don't want to do that. Of course not. Shoot, you might even see the Street Profits pop up at Elimination Chamber and mess up and interfere with another match. So be very aware of that. So that happens, just know that the Profits are gonna have their title match officially. No interruptions, no stops, none of that. They're winning those titles. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Fatal 4 or Fatal 5-way match. And if it is at Mania, which would be great for them to do, that would make sense for the Profits to get that dub. Why? Because they showed that on Smackdown. You see how they decimated everybody? So why not just see them do it at Mania and get that real right respect that they deserve? Mr. Exclusive, what are your thoughts?
Hey, look, the Profits are looking real good right now. They look real good right now. I like what I'm seeing from them. There's a part of me, and I know we all said it for years. This is still a part of me that said this eventually sets up Montez for a single run at some point. Maybe not now. Maybe once they get the titles, if they lose them, and somebody start pointing fingers, that it's happening within the next year. As long as he doesn't leave or within the next 2 years, it happens. I kind of need to happen a little bit before then, but that's just me personally. For me, what I love what they're doing right now. SmackDown has the best tag team division right now of the brands. With the talent that they have. They got some really good talent down on NXT, but what they have right now is really good. It's a solid 5-team tag team. You got to have 5 or 6 tag teams to truly make every tag team, because the tag team match are like 1 in a million now. It's like they have them, but usually it's like they just put a couple people together. But like true tag team matches, like they were when we were kids, don't happen the way they used to. So they're kind of building that up on SmackDown. Raw still needs to do that. I know we talked about that, multiple times, but Raw still needs to do that. But what they're doing right now, that's gonna be a great match. It's gonna be a great, and I got a feeling that you took the words out of my mouth. I think it's a 4-way, 5-way on that bad boy, and it's gonna be a really good match when it does happen, because there's too much talent in the ring for it not to be a good match. It's gonna be chaotic, but it's going to be fun. It'll be one of those matches like, oh, that was the match of the whole weekend. It'll be that type of match, because that's what everybody in that ring will be able to do. So, yeah, I'm excited about the Street Profits. I love seeing them swag out a little bit. They can have a really nice rugged run at the tag team title. So I like what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing.
Yeah, they're looking good, man. They're looking good. And I ain't talking making good. But, we talked about a few great things with Monday Night Raw with 3 Hours of Fire. We seen a lot of great things with NXT. With Shawn Michaels cooking it up, bringing this thing and doing this thing with TNA Impact. And we also seen the greatness of the 3 Hours of Fire SmackDown with the final boss trying to get the soul of Cody Rhodes, and also the Street Profits killing it and making their impact yet again. Look, we know Monday Night Raw is about to start up, so y'all make sure y'all go ahead and tune into that. We will be back again, but Elimination Chamber will be back to talk about what's going on this week as well. That being said, make sure y'all follow our social medias, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram, and follow us on X. We promise you. And also, we're on TikTok as well. We promise you that we will give y'all more content, but we need to get some more love from y'all, because it is looking still dry.
Yeah,
but
man.
We need it.
Come on,
we're
man.
Not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop. We're just saying. We just
the only case that I mean, Diddy.
We're not gonna stop, but we just saying we just need more of y'all so we can keep coming and giving y'all more love. Pause. I don't know how that sounded crazy, but it could have.
Something like that.
But that being said, I am your humble host, Eric Knight, your man, your myth, your legend. And we also got the legacy maker himself. And also, as always, we always strive to be the best there is, the best there was, the best that ever will be. And to make sure that your nights will never
be the same. Peace.